What animals have the most living generations at one time? I saw a post showing 5 or 6 generations of mothers and daughters together, and it made me wonder if there are other species that can have so many living generations. Thank you. Elkhorn corals can reach sexual maturity in a few years and can go on living for thousands of years as a genetically identical colony, so you could in theory have 1,000 generations still around at the same time. Discounting the weirder stuff like sponges and jellyfish, the polyp stage can be around for a long time, but the medusa stage is quite short-lived, so you can have a lot of generations of polyps hanging around, but all the intermediate medusa stages will be dead. I imagine earthworms should be pretty high up there. A red wriggler can live 5 years, and they reach maturity in under 60 days. That's 30-ish generations if all goes well. Rabbits are pretty high up there too. They can reach breeding age by 4 months. They live 4-ish years. So if each offspring breeds at 4 months and they live 4 years, 15+ generations. In captivity they live longer, and some breeds reach sexual maturity as early as 3 months. So possibly more. Did a quick scan through things I thought were likely and will just rule them out for anyone else trying to dive around. Most whales and sea turtles are long-lived, but all have a relatively high age for sexual maturity. So even though you were looking at upwards of 200 years life, in some cases you were still typically looking at an 6 to 10 generation range at all the ones I checked. Beyond that, I had high hopes for the Greenland shark, as they are certain they have a 250+ year lifespan and think it might go as high as 500 years. Having said that, it looks like they reach sexual maturity somewhere near 150 years of age and have a gestation period probably in the 8 to 18 year range. Which means even if they can hit 500, you're probably looking at only 4 generations around at any given moment. They're blind, and basically drift around in the cold deep oceans hoping they stumble upon food. For up to 500 years. So many reason to feel sorry for them, haha. I would largely guess a combo of A, mostly hanging out where we are not, and B, having a pretty wide diet while being big enough that they don't have to worry about anything eating them. So they hang out in the cold and dark, just sauntering around and eating whatever they stumble across.